I'm just a diamond in the rough. Keep it cool, cause every time I'm rising up. I'm on the road, oh yeah, I do it like that. I'm wild and bold, oh na 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 na. Got 'em like,
I am so excited to be joining the leader of my group. Please welcome Rajesh Shah. Rajesh, hey.
Hey, Karuana. Nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you're here. Wow, being back here at Ignite with all these people, I'm feeling the energy. I hope you are too.
For sure.
It's wonderful. There's so many takeaways from the keynote, and some of them are pretty clear, but let me make sure I have them correctly. Copilot is the fastest growing component of Microsoft 365 we've ever had, which is amazing. Every employee will need a Copilot, and every business process will be transformed by AI using agents. Do I have that right?
You have it bad.
That's good. I've been working on this just a little bit, just a little bit. But let's break each one of those down, though, a little bit more for folks so that they can understand it. That first statistic is really interesting. You've been a leader in Office, in Exchange, and SharePoint for a really long time. I personally have followed your career. It's very inspirational. What do you think that is so remarkable about Copilot that's driving this growth?
I mean, fundamentally, it's about productivity and advancing a person's creativity, empowering them to actually do what they can uniquely do and take the grind out, take the tedium out of their work. And that is why what we see when we have users use Copilot, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but actually they take to it very quickly. That's why we had very deliberately decided to put the Copilot integrated into an application that people already use, in addition to the new paradigm of web plus work in pages. So I think it's just the fact that it advances productivity for people, their creativity, allows them to focus on what really matters to them, is why we see the resonance. And then with agents, you can customize it, and we'll talk more about that, but the fact that it is something that is relevant to your job, to your function.
Absolutely. And I loved the empathy that we showed for customers by building in the prompt guidance inside with the experience. Of course, people can come to adoption.microsoft.com and get all sorts of tools for this at scale, but I think people really learning where they are in the flow of their work is important.
We were all grown with computers for over 2 decades, using graphical user interfaces. And now using natural language and graphical user interface in tandem to do your job, it's a bit of a new skill for us all.
Yeah, we all had to learn it, right? We're all on the journey. Throughout the keynote, you really highlighted customers getting value from Copilot, which I find interesting and impressive and an important part of the conversation. How are these customers really saving time and getting to value? What's that about for you?
On multiple dimensions. First, we talked about productivity, so every employee is now able to get time back, and when we ask employees what are they spending that save time back on, it's on the work, doing truly creative work or collaborative work. So that's the foundational layer. But then for customers, they can customize the Copilot for their employees for a given job function. So if you're a marketing professional and you want to go convert a document into a pitch deck, customers can now measure whether the marketing group is able to be more productive. At Microsoft, we've run studies where our sales colleagues who are empowered with Copilot, they're able to close deals faster, have a better pipeline, and in the end, generate more revenue per employee. So by customizing the Copilot for the specific job function of a specific business process through the use of agents, that's how you really drive ROI. And so, the big ask from customers is hey, give me a way to measure this ROI, this business value. in addition to the individual productivity. So we've augmented what used to be the Copilot dashboard with now Viva Insights. And the Viva Insights is really cool because what it allows you to do is to take a look at the actual experienced signals by your employees and then correlate that to business KPIs so you can steer the investments in Copilot customization in a way that you drive real ROI.
Absolutely. And from a user enablement person's perspective, those reports help me target where I can also lean in and provide more support.
Yeah, totally right.
Yeah,
totally right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. That's a plug for all those IT pros out there to give access to those reports to all the folks who need them.
Actually, it's a great call out. I mean, the Copilot Impact Dashboard is really built in to let you be able to access it and share that. And in the end of the day, I think that's a very effective adoption tool.
Absolutely, absolutely, for sure. So, Copilot for everyone. Now let's break that down. Let's unpack a little bit of what you were talking about in the keynote there. What do you mean? Because I do think people assume that Microsoft 365 Copilot is primarily for knowledge workers, but I don't think you believe that.
No, not at all. Actually, I mean, clearly the knowledge workers get immediate benefit because the knowledge workers are in office, they are in teams, they are trying to search, analyze, find, create. So it's, of course, out of the box, a great fit. But you consider I was just talking to the CIO of a very large automotive company. And he was describing to me how somebody on the shop floor, when they have to sign something off, there is such a complicated process. They have to work through so many forms and manuals to sign something off. Imagine that there was a Copilot that actually understood that business process because there was an agent that was customized to understand those things. And so every information worker has benefits, but I think every frontline worker that's actually involved in a business process can also get the benefit from the Copilot because they have a natural user interface that abstracts the sophistication that is often behind these business processes.
And there's so much opportunity built in that as well for folks like myself or everyone who's here watching who's like a business solution architect, an IT pro. Building and improving those processes
100%.
Is a tremendous career opportunity.
100%.
And I think it's fun.
100%. If you ever build a great template in Office or a SharePoint solution or, you build a bot in Teams, well, guess what? The Copilot Studio gives you all the tools and all the connectors to build an agent that can augment the Copilot for any business function, any business process, whether you're an information worker or whether you're a first line or frontline worker.
100%. We talk about that so much in the community because everyone's really excited about this, and as well they should be, especially with these new announcements. So where do you think that people should start? Business leaders, when they're really thinking about this, you're talking about Copilot Studio, but where do you advise our customers to start along this journey?
The first thing I'd just say is, think about the Copilot as a platform. The platform gives out-of-the-box value that you should be able to measure with a Copilot dashboard. The second is go pick a few business processes that are either high volume, that you want to drive efficiency in, or they are high impact that you want to amplify. So pick 2 or 3 business processes where you want to go build agents, you want to customize the agents to really drive either efficiency gains or productivity gains. So in Microsoft, for example, the sales example I was giving you is a place where we really think there's a real ROI, top line ROI, if we can make our sellers more effective. In our service departments, the Copilot customizations have allowed our service professionals to be so much more effective in responding to customer queries quickly, both increasing their satisfaction, increasing their efficiency.
Absolutely. We have a little bit of time, so I want to ask you something else. There's been some significant moments in a career like yours that many of us have been tracking for a long time. How do you think of this moment, this rise of AI, in terms of your career, what you're really having all of us come together and work on delivering? I'm really interested, and I know our audience is interested in your thoughts on that.
I mean, look, I've been in the computing industry over 3 decades now, in and around productivity the entire time. And so I was here from the very early days of graphical user interface, through the internet, mobile, search, moving to the cloud. And I think this is as if not bigger than all of the other tech transformations in our lifetime, perhaps as much as all of them combined. But the one thing to recognize is it builds on each other. If we did not have the cloud, we would not have had the ability to reason over the entire user's context. And so without the cloud, we would not be having a co-pilot that is really uniquely grounded in your context. And so, and of course, the cloud was enabled by the fact that there was the internet and mobile, and that was enabled by the democratization of computing that happened in the graphical user interface. So every wave has kind of enabled the next wave. And I think what we are seeing today, why is AI such a fascinating development? Is because it amplifies the work that this community has done over decades of building great business productivity solutions, moving it to the cloud, and then AI gets to amplify the human agency, building on that data corpus and those workflows.
Yeah. Just clicked off all the moments of my career, by the way. That was fantastic. But I think it is cumulative, just like the work that we're doing to have secure reasoning and the appropriate user context is built on the Microsoft 365 governance best practices we've been talking about for some time, right? So it's really all of that capability is about your tenant health, and that makes you AI ready, and then you're able to get the business value from what we're providing now. So folks may be out there thinking, oh, I'm not ready for AI yet, but you're always ready to have a healthy tenant.
I mean, let me build on a couple of things you said. One is the work that we've done to move to the cloud, move to current clients is one enabling platform. The other is the data governance and policies that you have already established around SharePoint or Exchange or Teams or Windows. All of that is inherited by the Copilot system. So it's not that you have to come up with a new regime. So that's why we're talking about the Copilot control system as a set of promises and policies that we enforce around your M365 data, any other data that you connect to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you also announced some more work around the actions and web work and pages. Help us understand that a little bit more as well, please.
I mean, look, first, what Actions is, today the Copilot, if you interact with it, up until now it's been very, it's waiting for you to interface with it. But sometimes, all of us, we have things we do on a regular basis. Or we have business rules in our head. For example, if Satya were to send me a piece of email, I might like some workflow to kick off that gets me, and if I'm in a long meeting that I can't duck off or he's calling me, I'd like some sort of summary sent to me that I can decide then. The Copilot Actions enables things like that. So you can you can instruct your Copilot to act, with some in an autonomous way based on your schedule or an event and do a set of tasks for you. So it's like, Satya said a correct analogy. We used to have Outlook rules. Think of this as Outlook rules for the AI age, but it works in your entire context. So that's one concept. Web, pages, work, so you've got Copilot in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, hundreds of millions of people every single day working on it. We brought AI there. Think about Web plus Work plus Pages as the new user interface, the new application that is AI first, that is Copilot first. And that's why we are taking the M365 app. That is going to be the home of Web plus Work plus Pages. It's going to have the Copilot icon. So you can still work with the tools like Office and Teams and Outlook, but there will be many times where you will want to work in ways that are not application specific, that is more intent oriented. And you want that tool to understand the web. That you want that tool to understand all the SharePoint documents that are relevant to you, all your emails, your chats, your meetings. And you want that thing to be able to then have chat and documents side by side. Because, what is a document? A document is an interactive, collaborative. It's about inspiring somebody, sharing with somebody, refining with somebody. So you work with AI to advance your agency. You use a page to capture it, and then you use the page to actually collaborate and communicate. So Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, and then you have the M365 app or the Copilot app. Is the entire family. One is AI native AI first, and the other has AI built into them.
And it's a flow. It's an experiential flow, which, as somebody who thinks about training people at scale, I feel it's very important to get people in that flow so they can have that aha moment and really understand how this enables them. I think everybody with this new technology needs to have that moment themselves.
Super well said. If it does not resonate with the user, the individual, with the person in their context, then it's just technology.
Right,
It has to be in the flow of their work, for sure. That's our job. Yeah.
And Windows is also a big area of focus, right? What are your key takeaways there for IT?
I think the first thing that Pawan said that I want to emphasize, we are committed to Windows as a mission-critical platform. There's work in the kernel mode, there's work that we're doing with the ecosystem, there's work we are doing in the core operating system. There's best practices that we are driving in terms of how you manage an estate as large as Windows, in terms of flighting changes and all of that. So the foundational work is the first most important thing we got to get done. The second thing on Windows, and of course the other thing on Windows that I'll say is with the Win 10 end of life, really want this community to start moving forward, and many of you have, and so thank you. And for the rest, I would say Windows 11 was built for mission criticality, was built with foundations in mind, and then Windows 365 is a great opportunity to lift and shift your estate in a modern way into the cloud. Then finally, AI is going to run in the cloud, AI is going to run on the edge. There are scenarios where it will run in a hybrid manner. There are scenarios that will be client only, and Pawan showed an example of, you're in a spotty connectivity, and it doesn't. And if you're on a video conference, it doesn't matter whether you're on Teams or Zoom or WhatsApp. Windows is automatically able to do super resolution because it's running AI on the edge. That is not, if to do that in the cloud would just not have acceptable latency. But there are scenarios where there's hybrid. You're looking for a file with a description, and Windows is able to use the same semantic index schema on the client, built with the AI on the client, and of course built in the cloud with M365. So I'm very excited about these Copilot PCs, where they're inherently enabled and integrated in the shell with Copilot, and it harnesses the AI power both in the cloud and on the client.
That is fantastic. There's so much reading that we have to do, but I want to wrap with this one thing. Last year you said that you made a prediction that no one would want productivity tools without AI built in. And I think that that's fair to say that's broadly come true. What is your statement, your future-looking statement for this year?
Well, first of all, let me just say one thing that I've heard from customers. Lots of feedback on Copilot, and we are continuing to add features. The one thing they are consistently telling us is the users that they have given Copilot to, they really value it. I've been in Office, Teams for a long time. Copilot tests very, very well with users. So my prediction is that Copilot is going to be customized for you. You're either going to customize it with Copilot Actions, or your IT department, your solution builders, or you yourself are going to be able to customize Copilot with agents. So it really helps you with your specific job. So Copilot plus agents is the year that we are about to see and get on together.
That is fantastic. Well, people can learn more about all of this at the blog with all of the Microsoft 365 announcements. That's going to be fantastic. We appreciate that. Thank you for coming by, Rajesh.
Always a pleasure, Karuana.
Always a pleasure,
Always a
too.
pleasure.
It's just so wonderful. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I use Copilot every day. I actually can't imagine being a lawyer without it.
AI is not just to do what you used to do faster, but to reimagine how we do the work and create new business value.
We're looking at Copilot Studio to better provide personalised customer experiences.
The opportunity of having agents working together with our people is just an enormous multiplier effect for us.
The insights come to the worker, not the other way around, and that's truly a game changer. We're really excited about multi-agent systems and accelerating them across the enterprise.
This new wave of AI products is the fastest and deepest adoption we've ever seen.
Having IT with the businesses around the table allows us to leverage advanced capabilities across our function.
By driving that partnership internally, we get better processes across the board. Those translate into better experiences for our customers, better products.
The possibilities seem endless.
You put everything into making your business a success, creating meaningful connections with your customers and your team. And as we integrate AI into our everyday workflow, finding the balance between innovation and business results is more important than ever before. The Microsoft Commercial Marketplace provides an easier way to discover best-in-class solutions through one trusted source. Our robust catalog features thousands of apps and services available at your fingertips. The Marketplace adapts to your business needs, whether buying directly through our digital storefront or using a channel partner to procure solutions on your behalf with multi-party private offers.
MPOs are shortening the procurement cycle. What used to take weeks now takes minutes.
For larger investments, align vendor purchases to your Microsoft contract for simplified billing on one invoice. And eligible marketplace purchases count towards your Microsoft Azure consumption commitment.
When we signed our commitment with Microsoft, we knew that we wanted to move some of our spend to the marketplace. It meant that we could make a larger commitment and manage more growth with less risk.
The Microsoft Commercial Marketplace is how we deliver on empowering every organization to achieve more.
Yep, win-win-win.